Okay, I think it is officially recording.
Of course, Google doesn't tell me if I want to leave. I need to leave now.
Yeah. Well, here I am coming from whatever galaxy, the Star Wars. Man, I wish I knew Star Wars better, but it's the really bad one, right? With Jar Jar Binks, where they're like always
Yeah.
being beamed up to talk to them, and then they go away. I look like one of those guys. All right, so we're gonna have a guest at any moment. We will see. But there's a lot of talk and excitement over soccer these days. You want to give us your take on soccer, Greg?
I only care when it's international.
When it's international, okay.
And even then, it's very surface level.
Yeah. Let's see. I was listening to like a rock band thing. I like Oasis, so I was listening to Oasis guy talk, and he was saying how he got into American football. He's like, once I learned the rules, it's actually pretty fun. I'm like, well, yeah. So I guess soccer, sometimes I still don't know all the rules, but World Cup is coming to North America next year. There's lots of stuff already being prepared around it, and our guest will talk to us about that. From a unique perspective, non-real estate related for once, talk about something fun. Who knows when he's going to jump on? So busy man. In other news, there was a very interesting article that I read, and I'm going to give you the title. Home buyers sue brokerage they allege steered them to lender. Juicy stuff. So I read the whole thing. The guy I really respect is the one that posted it on Facebook, and has got some good comments and stuff. But because we don't really have a CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, right? That was one of the first things that went away when Trump came on and started slashing different stuff. And
protecting consumers was a waste of money.
Well, it could be. We don't know for sure. But one thing that we do know is that there needed to be change. But just getting rid of it altogether and they're not enforcing it is interesting. But here's a potential unintended consequence, maybe even positive. This is what he says about it is, we may not have the CFPB to enforce, talking about this lawsuit and steering and all that stuff. He says, but trial attorneys are seeing blood in the water. So things are going to court and getting hashed out. So yeah, you get rid of the CFPB, but we're a very litigious, market and country in general. So the rules on the books will start to be enforced. It could be pretty interesting.
I mean, it's twofold. Not everybody has the money to tie up a massive home builder in court or a brokerage, depending on who it is. Now, if it's Star Realty of Northeast Oklahoma, then yeah, they're going to fold. But if it's Compass or Keller Williams or Monument or
all these
big
lender,
names,
the lender in this article is a very large name.
Yeah, they're going to fight you.
But they are apparently accused in 6 separate lawsuits operating an illegal pay-to-play scheme in violation of RESPA, the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. And so apparently now, of course, it's behind a paywall now, so I can't read it anymore. I got the first look for free. Now I clicked on it again, they want my money. But there's a text from the realtor owner, brokerage guy, and literally instructing everyone in this brokerage that's on this text chain saying, if you're not sending these loans to our lender that's helping us pay for leads, then you're not going to get paid your commission. So this lawsuit's got some legs, basically.
I mean, we bash realtors a lot, so I'm going to do it again. I mean, as a whole, not the brightest bunch, right? I mean, you you hear it all the time. I hear it all the time. They're like, I have to give 3 options. It's like, actually, you don't. It's not written in law. It's a
Well,
recommendation. Plus, we're brokers. But there's your 3 options right there. All you're doing is confusing.
let's talk about that. But the biggest thing, especially with this lawsuit and realtors, whether they're dumb or not, is, individual based. But it's really more about everybody wants money and not have to do anything. That's just a societal thing that's been popping up more and more, in my opinion. So what we need is, just good old fashioned hard work. The pay to play, you want my business, pay me. Well, how much business do you even have? And then that's what they're talking about in this article is the lenders like, we're cutting our deal with you because you're not giving us any business anyway. And then so the realtor broker is like, I want those checks. So, I got to start threatening my people to make sure they're steering their clients. And so it's not about the client at all. So that's why I think this lawsuit really has a lot of legs, because this could actually protect the consumers. When they say they have to do 3 referrals or whatever, but then you're tied to Zillow and you have to, send your people to Zillow Mortgage, well, then you just contradicted yourself.
Yeah. Well, I always tell realtors, they're
All
like,
right,
I have to send it to 3. I go, well, did you let your client interview 2 other realtors before you sign your agreement? And they're always like, no. Okay.
All right, Michael, we're recording already, so you're live. Don't say anything bad.
Bob the Builder over there.
Hey, Greg, how are you?
You look great.
Here, let me throw my AirPod here a little bit.
Yeah, little sneak peek there of where he's at.
Boo.
Logo on the background.
All right, is that better?
Yeah, only except for you came out of the tunnel walking. We don't walk out of the tunnel.
What?
I said you walked out of the tunnel. We need to be sprinting out of the tunnel onto the field.
A little high knees to the chest. Absolutely. How are you guys doing today?
Good. So we just recorded and talked a little bit about a pay-to-play lawsuit that's going to hit courts that could affect realtors and lenders, like paying each other for marketing leads.
Oh. Sure.
So, yeah, but anyway, we don't have to talk about boring stuff now. We can talk about the good stuff.
Absolutely.
So we opened the episode kind of talking a little bit about the World Cup. So it was just announced, or at least I saw an article over the weekend, that DFW is going to get 9 games, including a semifinal game.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm sure you know about all this already, but do you want to just introduce who you are and what you do?
Yeah, my name is Michael Peters. I'm owner and president of Bush Sports Turf. We're a athletic field construction, renovation, and repair company. We service a lot of the area in the Midwest, kind of mainly from Denver to Detroit down to Louisville, Kentucky, and that's kind of our main area. And we do some specialty events kind of out in that area. We've done some Gold Cup events at AT&T and Gold Cup and some relevant sports tournaments down in NRG. So we've done some Texas work and kind of all over the country for some specialty stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk about what that means, specialty, and what exactly do you do?
So specialty events, I would say mainly are international soccer matches. And because the international teams, they will not play on the synthetic turf fields that we have in a lot of our NFL stadiums, it requires us to come in and install a natural grass field for that event or series of events, which is happening for a lot of the FIFA events. MetLife and AT&T, they're going to be installing a pitch for that's being for 40 days before the first event, some sooner than that. And then they'll host the matches for FIFA. Like you guys said, AT&T's hosting even some of the, I believe you said, semifinals and matches like that. And then they'll be removed and turned back to football. So we've installed a soccer pitch in the infield of Daytona 500, many college and professional football stadiums that are synthetic most of the time.
So obviously, if you ever watch like big shows like McAfee and those guys, they always have people on, and all the pro football players, everybody's got opinions about turf and grass and stuff. So what is it? What would it take for these football people to have the soccer grass in permanent?
Very similar to what they're doing for FIFA. So every stadium is a little bit different. Obviously, you have some of your outdoor stadiums that have synthetic. We put these pitches in, like University of Michigan. They're synthetic, they're outdoors. They'd be a pretty easy one. They'd convert back to a natural grass field, remove the profile that's there, and build a natural one. The tricky ones are like AT&T, you know, Minnesota Vikings, Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta, things like that, where they don't have an option to open a roof, or like Vegas, where they can roll the field out and roll it back in. That's an option for some of them if they have the space. AT&T may fit into that, where you could have a field that somehow you retrofit the stadium for it to be rolled in and out. Other ones would be trickier. Your Minnesota Vikings US Bank Stadium, you'd have to do similar to what we do. You'd install a temporary field. They'd get it all ready. They'd play for a series of games, probably schedule an event like a concert where it'd be removed. And then after that, they'd install another one for another 45-day stint or 60-day stint, whatever that stadium allows. They'd supplement light with, in the industry, they're using grow lights a lot. Those are helping a lot with these events where, you can have a grass field indoors, you can mow it, you can paint it, water it, and then you're using grow lights to supplement, NRG that has a little bit of light that comes in there, but there's shade most of the day. They would need grow lights to keep it going.
Now, what type of grass are you using?
Depends on the region. So here in Kansas City, they use the Bermuda grass. They use 419. There's different varieties. There's kind of like 3 or 4 main ones that are in the NFL right now. So anything kind of this latitude south would be Bermuda. And then anything in the northern region would be a bluegrass.
Do y'all get feedback from players, or is it all just based on regionality?
We do get feedback from players. They obviously like to see a field that's been in for a long time. Safety is always a concern with the temporary field. We've got them down where luckily we've had really good success, no injuries. But their feedback is basically if they play hard and they're not saying anything bad about the field, it was a pretty good pitch and they're pretty comfortable on it. So they would like to see them be a little bit more permanent, which, if the NFL went that route and they were putting in more natural grass fields, that, they'd be grown in for longer. Our main constraint is time. So usually when we do these overlays, we have a week from beginning of install to tear out. So it doesn't have a lot of time for the grass to really grow in and the seams to grow together and, be a little safer.
So how are you securing that? Like, are you just relying on the weight of the sod to kind of not move?
So the sod is special. They actually grow it on plastic. So the roots grow sideways and creates a higher tensile strength. And also it's about the thickness of a 2x4. It's about 1.5 inches thick. So it weighs 14 pounds per square foot, which quick math, I think a typical NFL field weighs about 1.3 million pounds worth of sod.
Okay.
And they come in 42-inch wide rolls, 50 foot long. So when you lay those out, and we have a machine that we patented that push them tight to the other roll and makes the seams tight. By the time you do that over the course of the field, you've got a fairly safe playing surface as far as there's no gaps. And then from there, between rolling and top dressing and hand walking all the seams, you make sure there's no tripping hazards or unevenness between that.
So obviously you talked about doing it for, special things, but for the Chiefs and Arrowhead there, as an example, they have concerts and stuff. Like whether or not they're having anyone else actually play a game on the field other than their football team, throughout the year, stadiums have multi-purpose stuff going on. So it has to change anyway, right? So can you talk about that nature of it all?
Yeah, sometimes. So especially here at the Chiefs last year, I believe it was, KU is having their stadium renovated. So they were also hosting all the home games for KU as well. They host soccer matches during the year. Concerts, they have Monster Jam. They'll bring in, I think it's like 10,000 tons of dirt. They'll build all the ramps, have Monster Jam, and then that comes out and we'll replace the field before the next game. And Man, the stadiums have just kind of become event venues where really they're,
Mhm.
even baseball fields, they're doing, they're golfing, they're doing driving range golfing events from different levels of the stadium. They're doing fun runs, concerts. I mean, we've kind of seen a little bit of everything. X Games things come in, and they're really trying to utilize these stadiums for as much as they can. When you think about a football stadium, you're getting maybe 9, 10 games out of their team a year. Well, there's a lot of empty days that they can fill and create revenue streams. And because of,
It's good for the local markets too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of, they probably host way more local events and smaller events than they do big ones. But I would say they almost have something every day in the stands, whether it's in the club level, hosting parties, or if it makes it down to the field. But they're really also because of companies like us that have kind of been able to do and find ways to turn a field over in 3-4 days from being destroyed to being able to be played on. They've really seen opportunity to fill their schedule for events. So if they have a three week away stretch, they can schedule 2 concerts and maybe another youth event or something on it, and then we can replace it before their next game, and they can bring in that much more revenue.
So you talked about one of the things with soccer, especially they want to see it, more often. Like the grass be in longer. But even when they're doing events like this, even this turf behind you, it's still being pulled in and out. So it's hard to keep it in as long as they want it in, right? That's why the Euro soccer fields, no one touches that, right? They'll execute you if you walk on that.
Yeah, I mean, groundskeepers here the same way, but it's capitalism. I mean, you've got a multi-billion-dollar stadium, and you got bills to pay, and they're looking at it a few different ways. They're trying to bring in events to the community. They're bringing revenue into the area, and of course, they're trying to make money. Which, I mean, before the sods we have now and the procedures we have now, it's a monumental task. But once we've done it so many times, and the fact that they can say, hey, we're going to have a concert Sunday or Saturday, they're going to tear down the stage Sunday, you have till Thursday to have a new field in here. And we can do that. And we do it regularly. It opens all kinds of windows for them. When they have a week opening or a 2-week opening, they can bring in 2-3 concerts and use the same stage and really bring in some nice revenue and events for the community.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. So I know you got a bunch going on, and Greg's got an appointment. But Greg, what else do you want to talk to Michael about?
I mean, I have I'm fascinated by what you do, but I have 2 questions. One,
Yeah.
what is the most sophisticated, like, under turf setup you've seen in a stadium for like cooling or heating purposes? I'm assuming Kansas City has some sort of heating implement underneath the ground. And then what's the most probably difficult stadium you've worked in?
Yeah, so actually this is a good one for that, because part of this renovation for FIFA, one of the requirements is they have to have a system called sub-air. And so what it is, it's a special drainage system that's all sealed, but then the laterals are perforated, and there's a system underneath the bleachers where you can either push or pull air. You can achieve a multitude of things with it, but you can pull moisture out if you're wet. You can push oxygen in to help the roots grow. You can heat it up a little bit with it, but it gives you a lot of control over the field surface. Along with that, they have glycol heating. So just like you have a heated floor in a building, those 1/2-inch PEX lines run every 7 inches here, about 9 inches deep, and they use it to heat the field, keep it at a growing temperature. Also keep it from freezing when you have those late playoff games and guys are getting tackled and it's not cement out there. Which is kind of becoming a standard. Every field that, these seasons are going so much longer. Baseball is starting to get into it too, because you can bring these fields out of winter earlier. There's all kinds of, people see the grass, but they don't realize the type of science that's going underneath of it. Along with, I mean, as you can see here, no fields don't have dirt anymore. They're a sand mix, and it depends on region what the mix is. But typically, you've got 4 inches of pea gravel and 10 to 12 inches of sand on top. So, like when we build this field, it's draining about 27 inches an hour, And by the time it's reached its life expectancy in 5, 6, 7 years, it's going to drain about 12 inches an hour. So we overbuild them so that through the years they can clog up a little bit, but it can take a 6-inch rain and they'll be back on it as soon as the lightning stops.
There goes the
So
days, Mark, of us being out there with a rake and lighter fluid on an infield.
no more.
Yeah.
Um,
I had nightmares the other night because I think Cubs cards were in a rain delay or something.
Yeah.
And they showed a guy with diamond dry on his back. I'm like, no.
yeah. There's a lot of the mitigation stuff. I mean, the groundskeepers are being thrown more at them to handle, and that's a big topic in our industry. Is these guys that are usually the lowest paid people in the stadium, or all these concerts and everything get thrown on their plate without really being compensated. And in our industry, that's kind of been a huge push. Is these guys are doing incredible feats. They're working incredible hours to make sure all these things happen, and making sure they get recognized and compensated accordingly. These guys are the reason that these events are happening. It's the reason you can buy a ticket to go to a game and just talk about how beautiful the field is, and these multi-million-dollar athletes, can know that they're going to be able to take a hop on a baseball field or run confidently and plant on a football field or a soccer pitch, kind of the same thing. The ball's going to bounce right. I mean, these guys are truly, they're scientists, and they're doing amazing things every day to make sure these athletes are safe, and their careers are longer. They're communicating with athletes to talk about the surface and talk about for baseball, the infield, the pitcher's mound, the catcher's area, to make sure that these players can perform at their optimum level. And truly, it's an amazing thing, and they really don't get the recognition that they deserve. And we're not groundskeepers, we're obviously field billers, but we work with these guys all the time, and the passion they have for it, and the love and effort that they put into these places is incredible.
Yeah, I think anybody who plays baseball or golf, at some point in their life when they're young, they're like, yeah, I'm going to grow up and just work on the pro fields. That's the job. I thought I was going to go study horticulture until they told me I had to go do science classes. I guess that's not for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a lot to it. These guys are truly scientists in their own way. And, some of the guys we run into, there's a great guy, head groundskeeper at the Royals across the parking lot. He got on the grounds crew. He was washing the bleachers after a game, and the grounds guy needed an extra hand. Now he's been the groundskeeper over there, and I don't want to misspeak, but plus of 20 years, and is one of the biggest guys in our industry. And, a lot of the older guys are pure work ethic and have learned the science along the way. And we have a lot of new guys coming in the industry through the colleges and through the sciences that are bringing amazing things, to supplement that. And
have you ever done any work at any university level stuff, or seen it? Can you talk about that real quick?
Yeah, so just like our pro stuff in the Midwest, we're doing college stuff. We do a lot.
No. So in the classroom. So you're talking about these guys coming up and learning. Have you ever been in a classroom and listen to what they're teaching and that kind of thing?
So we have a lot of industry resource where we bring teachers, professors and stuff into these conferences, and get the real world feel along with their research. We work closely, especially with FIFA. There's two researchers, John Sorokin out of Tennessee and Trey Rogers out of Michigan State, are kind of the main ones that FIFA has given grant money to do research for this, and they've been doing it for probably 8 years now, I believe. And they've found out so much through this process that we're going to be able to use in the day-to-day, for years to come after FIFA. We work closely with a lot of those guys in the research field that are also, producing good employees to come out of the colleges, but also the research that they're doing while they're in there is applying directly to what we're doing, day-to-day, and evolving our industry.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. I would actually probably go to that class if I was still in school.
They are. It's like anything. Once you find something you're interested in, I think we've all been there in a class where we weren't interested in. It was hard to pay attention and do the work. But when you find something that you're passionate about and interests you, it makes it a lot easier to do those things and study and learn and want to push yourself to be better in the field.
Yeah. Well, it's wildly fascinating what you do. what goes into all the grass stuff. I mean, like Mark said, you grow up playing on baseball fields and golf courses. Obviously we play on courses where it's just sick grass growing from whatever grows, but
Yeah.
the science and the sophistication that goes around it to make sure everything's great or drought resistant or heat resistant or whatever that may be is pretty incredible. The fact that you guys can do it in a week and get things rolled out and feel confident. I think it's something people don't realize when they show up to a game on Sundays or watch a game on TV.
Yeah, I will always be just flabbergasted by the fact that these people let monster jams happen on the field.
Well, I can point you out to an area here. One of them hit the stands and smashed the whole area of it that was braced up till this renovation. But I mean, it's amazing. I mean, up at US Bank, they poured like some crazy amount of cement to make X Games happen in there, and then they demoed all the ramps. And I mean, it's just incredible what people are able to do and what these events or these venues are able to host. And it's exciting in ways. It's frustrating in ways because they keep asking for more. But it's our industry, and it's going to be interesting to see where this all kind of shakes out and how it keeps evolving and what they're going to want to keep bringing in these places. I mean, we keep saying yes to it, so we'll keep pushing, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna circle it around to a little bit of business talk. In your opinion, obviously you don't see the end in terms of what they make off of a specific event. Let's say you're laying out sod on that stadium floor for one specific event. Do you know the cost of putting that field in? But do you think it works out for them in terms of the cost to do these things so quick, the turnaround? Because I'm sure it costs more because they need it done quick. Do you think it's a viable kind of revenue stream for them long term, or is it just we got to pump as many out as we can so we can make our 20%?
Well, and to add on, Michael, to add on to that, like you're talking about all the new science and all the stuff that can't be cheap adding that all in. So as they do more and more stuff and more like really scientifically specific things, the cost there is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very expensive, but when you look at it as a whole, I mean, being here, I want to bring it back. The Taylor Swift concert, I remember the figures. She brought some crazy like $300 million economic impact to the area. So it's not just the stadium. I think it's the area. I would say, I don't know the numbers, but from what I know, I would say probably 90% of the events are profitable. And that's not here. I mean, that's anywhere events we've been a part of where, sometimes they don't have the ticket sales that they think they're going to have, but you know what? They do great broadcasts. They do great advertising sales. So I can't really speak on that, but I would say, the fact that they keep having them and they keep pushing for them means that they are profitable or they are having some positive impact. And, as long as it keeps doing that, I think they'll keep doing it. I mean, they work really well. Like Live Nation, I think, is one of the big promoters that do the concerts. And, I'm not on that side of it, but I would say, the fact that they keep having stadium concerts, they keep like Savannah Bananas is now in all these bigger stadiums because they need more space. And that's really the key of it is where are you going to put, 60 to 80,000 people at one time. Yeah. And the only answer is really a football or baseball stadium, the professional one. Some of these colleges are hosting things, some of the MLS stadiums that are 20,000 people, those are great. And the cool part about it is we have so many different venues that, say you're a performer that you're not going to draw 80,000, but you're going to draw 25. There's an MLS stadium down the street that holds 25,000, and you can sell out crowd. Yeah, you can go sell out there. I mean, obviously the numbers always have to shake out whether the field's the same size. So if you damage the field and you need to replace it, you got to bank on whatever you're bringing in from that smaller venue. But there's smart people. I mean, it's not my side, but it's so I don't want to speak if they're all profitable, but my guess is the fact that they keep doing it and they keep trying to find more events to put in there means that it's beneficial to somebody somewhere. And mostly I'm guessing it's probably profitable, but I'm sure there's been events that they bring in just because they think it's a good event to have and, host and bring into their
And
community too.
a lot of this science and stuff too is saving places. Look at downtown Dallas and the Cotton Bowl. They're putting some kind of professional soccer team, I think, in there now. They're going to do some renovations, like a place that's kind of been written off for a long time, not getting used. And hey, wait a minute, that is multi-purpose. Let's go ahead and multi-purpose it.
Yeah, I think once everyone's mind shifted from, hey, we host football games to, hey, what else can we put in here? Like Sporting KC down the road in Kansas, their big off-season renovation, they're going to build a stage built into the stands on one end, so they don't have to put a stage on the field anymore. They can just put the pedestrian decking. They already have the stage and the hookups, and that way that cuts down on their cost. And that's a fantastic idea to be able to, one, do concerts quicker, but hey, it doesn't cost us as much to host this event because we don't have to bring in a stage. We don't have to do all the temporary stuff that we would do.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's pretty cool.
It's amazing. And I mean, after, the whole buzzword COVID, we were worried what's going to happen. I mean, there was a stretch there where, no people are in the stands for games, and come to find out after that, everyone just wanted to get outside and do something. And there's been more events, and they put more in these stadiums and venues.
You're starting to see massive crowds again, like the good old days, right? Because in a couple weeks, I'm gonna be at Soldier Field for Oasis, and there's gonna be 100,000 people in there.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Well, yeah, because with a concert, these stadiums that hold 70, 80,000, you're also adding all the pedestrian decking on the field itself. So, add 20 to 25,000 more people there. It's amazing. I mean, it's really exciting, and I mean, it's great for us to get to keep repairing these places and working these venues, and we're going to keep pushing and trying to invent ways to do things better and quicker and see where it goes.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you, Michael, and Greg
Absolutely.
and I are tired of talking to our 9 listeners about the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Well, we were pumped to find out that you were one of those 9 listeners. So we're like, let's get him on the show.
Well, now you have 8 listeners.
Yeah.
No, this is a lot of fun. I'd like to do it again with you guys, and maybe at a different venue or somewhere else, or in my office where we got a little more time to talk about it.
Yeah, because that you guys are, I don't know what you want to talk about in your business, but you've got new things that you're adding and other things that you got to pay attention to, and like you said, cost and whatever else, like sod and grass and where you get it. And Michael's come down here for a couple trips just to tour sod farms. You're like, oh, I didn't even know we had those around here. So
oh yeah, you got some great ones. No, it's there's a lot of parts of this industry that are around us every day and nobody even knows. It's exciting.
There's a soil farm somewhere here in Texas that is the only one that supplies soil for cannabis grow operations around the country. Like people, they flock to, I don't know where it is here in Texas, but my brother-in-law was telling me about it. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I don't know what kind of soil it is, but it's one of 2 places in the world that they've kind of sourced their soil specifically for that type of grow operation. And this guy like invented it, a combination of soil, and is beyond rich because of it.
All the things that weren't at career fair. I always say to people, it's like they almost limit your mind to these 10, 20 options, and there's so many things out there that you can do and be successful at, and to have a little company or branch out, and there's just so much stuff out there that people don't even think about or run into on a day-to-day basis.
Well, that's something that I'd like us to do, is just talk to entrepreneurs more and less a little bit about real estate all the time. Because if you figure out wild stuff, I mean, I have friends that work in plastics. I'm like, how do you work in plastics? And you're like, oh my gosh, that's how. And you sell your little thing that's less than an inch long to Boeing or whatever. And, oh my gosh, I didn't even know.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, there's a multitude of worlds out there that you don't get exposed to when you're young, and unless you know someone that does it. I mean,
Mhm.
there's just that old saying of it's not what you know, it's who you know is it's truer and truer because I mean, who would have known there was some guy was manufacturing soil for specifically for pot grows or what we do. I didn't see it at a career fair. I
Yeah.
do
No.
in construction, but
Only
even
thing
in
I
construction.
saw at a career fair was call centers. Sit your ass down and start dialing.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great thing if you guys can get more people on to just open people up to all these options that are out there. I mean, you look at the stuff behind you. Someone had to make those frames. Someone installed
Mhm.
that door. There's someone has a little factory mark that made that little John Deere bookend that you got there. It's like
Oh, thank you for believing that that's real. That's my virtual background. That's why I look
is
like
it?
I'm on course.
Hey, I was giving you the benefit. I was giving you the benefit of a doubt. I was
I
trying
do
to
have a very similar John Deere tractor right over there on the shelf, but yeah.
repping the
Mine's
hometown.
mine's real. As you can imagine, out of the two of us, I'm the one that lives in reality, not Mark.
we,
I,
I
normally
think we
have
know that well.
my background is pretty good, but I didn't want my service to cut out again on this. So I
This is
moved.
actually fake too. This is
Right.
Yeah,
yeah,
He's in his backyard right now.
yeah,
in a
yeah.
simulation.
No, guys,
Well,
it was great talking, and yeah, let's schedule it again and let's talk more. And
yeah.
love
Any
to
other interesting people that want to talk on the internet, have them call us.
Yeah.
absolutely. I can think of a few that do some pretty neat things that you guys could.
Well, and I thought about what you do, and it's like, well, there's some things that you talk about, and some things that you maybe don't talk about just because. And
We're pretty open with our stuff. I mean, most of our stuff. I mean, if you Google us, all of our patented equipment, you'll see. I mean, there's plenty of stuff out there. It's hard to work at these places and not have pictures and video taken of you. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
that's one thing with our guys and the professionalism they have. We're always ready for that stuff. So, I mean, there's stuff out there if you want to see, Google us and see what we do. And you got more questions next time we talk.
yeah. Well, let's definitely talk
Absolutely.
again. Well, let's wrap up by saying what exactly are you working on right now?
So right now we're finishing up renovation for FIFA World Cup for next year. This is a multi-phase project. We did mostly the infrastructure in this phase two, and then it's about ready for football. We got grass going down tomorrow and Wednesday, and then some fine-tuned stuff the rest of the week. After that, we hand it back over to the Chiefs grounds crew and through the season, and then as soon as season ends, we get to flip it into FIFA World Cup field and play the FIFA matches. And then after FIFA, we got like three weeks to flip it back to NFL and be ready for their season. So it's we've been doing the work for the Chiefs for I think the past 14 years now, and they've been a great customer and really good relationship we had with them, and love doing new stuff here besides just replacing grass. And
Well, we've had a dream for a couple years now that never gets realized, but hopefully we'll finally get to meet up there and tailgate for a game.
absolutely,
Yeah.
I still have yet to go to a game in the stadium, so that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'm always here when they're gone. All right.
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Michael.
Get back to work.
Will do. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Got to go.
Well, I
right?
think we just hit our pivot on the video.
Oh yeah, entrepreneur thing is really what we should be talking about anyway. But yeah, like you said, there's people that do wild stuff, and DFW with
Mhm.
airspace and defense and all these different things. You learn about manufacturing. The stuff that we have just here is insane and wildly unique.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and even just at the basis of what me and you do, we can tie into all the events and stuff around that stadium that revitalizes an area and keeps property values and tax bases, and it all ties in. But that was, very
That's
different
what
and
makes that's what
super
makes our
interesting.
area different. And when people think that different markets are going to bubble or this or that, we have some insulation because of all the events, all the
Hmm.
things, all the worldly business that happens here. It's a big ass place.
Absolutely. Well,
All right,
we'll wrap it up.
cool, good one. We'll maybe we'll get a double digit views on this one. We'll see. Who cares?
Well, we hashtag it FIFA World Cup. I think we might.
Yeah, I think it's something really we should follow a little bit closely because just with the article coming out of having 9 games here, it's going to be. This is really unique. This is, hasn't really happened. Does not happen that much, decades at a
Chris,
time.
Chris knows somebody that does the economic impact studies. We talked about it
Oh,
for the All-Star game last year about how
yeah,
they anticipated millions and millions of dollars of increased revenue and economic impact around just a 3-day event, much less the 10 international soccer games.
yeah. Well, let's see your booking skills, then. Let's get them on.
Yeah, I'll talk to him. I don't know who it was. Could have been, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it on camera, but could have been somebody. Uh, but I'll talk to him, see if we can get some contacts and talk to that person.
Sounds good. We'll talk later.
All right.